Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cafetalk. Today is a very special, very rare day in Los Angeles. It's actually a little chilly. It's windy. It actually feels like a winter's day.
Yeah, something that we haven't had for the whole winter season. It's very strange. I don't know why. Winter came out of nowhere and just smacked us in February for some reason.
Yeah, pretty much. Weird. For those of you who are new, I'm Jolin, and I'm here with my co-host Victor.
Yeah, hey, what's up, guys? Thank you for joining us on another episode of Cafe Talk.
Yeah, we're finally back.
Yeah, we had to take a break to make sure Jolin was okay right there, because
I highly doubt people want to listen to me sniffling and with half a voice. Yeah, it's just
I don't know, Jolin, man. Maybe some people out there love that. Just got some fetishes. They're like, oh yeah, sniffle for me, baby.
But yeah, anyways, we're back.
Yeah,
and we're gonna talk about how we became friends, where it all started, and we'll give a little bit of opinions on upcoming things like movies, songs that we're
maybe
listening
new songs,
to,
yeah, exactly,
things like that. A little bit of everything, just trying some stuff out.
Yeah, so stick around. Stay tuned for the end, and hopefully enjoy the show. So Jolin, what do you want to start on this journey that we're gonna lead our audience through?
Just how are you, Victor? I haven't seen you in a week.
I'm good. Yeah, actually, I've had a pretty busy week. No lie, even though I didn't do much, other than my basic routine, I still wouldn't stop moving. I didn't get a chance, because normally there's those weeks where I'm able to go home from work and then relax to the point where I'm able to take an hour or two nap and then go back to whatever I was doing. But this whole week I wasn't able to do any of that. I wasn't even able to go home. I was either at work working nonstop or out with friends and just doing stuff out there.
I see.
And only on Saturday did I actually get a chance to spend more than an hour at home to watching videos or relaxing in my bed, that I fell asleep, and I stayed asleep till 8 o'clock. Mine being that 2 o'clock was when I first got in. But yeah, it was crazy. I mean, the week was busy as hell, but it was productive. I enjoyed it. How are you, Jolin? How are you handling the sickness that was taking over your body? The sickness, did you get down with it?
I mean, the beginning of my week was pretty bad. I helped my mom out a little bit. I changed the faucet inside of her restroom.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And that was horrible.
Yeah,
the threading on one of the knobs was messed up, so I spent 3 hours trying to take it off.
Yeah.
And nothing that I did worked. I tried to lube it up with WD-40.
You gotta loosen it up, Jolin.
I tried heating it up. I even tried heating up a knife to see if I could cut through it, because I thought the threading was plastic, but it turns out it was metal or bronze.
Oh, what?
Yeah, so there was almost nothing I could do, so I resorted to bashing it with a hammer, and that ended up fixing it.
There you go.
So you know how some hammers have the little pry tool on the back to take out nails,
the little it looks like a little pincer on the back.
Yeah. So I cut the faucet in half because I got some sheet metal scissors, and I cut the faucet off. So that way only one knob was left. And then with the pry tool, I pushed it up, and that basically lodged the thing that holds the threading.
Yeah.
All the way down to the bottom, so the threading was loose.
Nice.
I was able to take it out. After that, it was just horrible. The rest of the week, I was just sick, lying in bed, couldn't do much.
Damn. Did you sweat it out, or what'd you do to get over the sickness?
Just self-medicated, drink a lot of tea, took some Dayquil, NyQuil.
Yeah.
Good combination. After that, towards the end of my week, I started putting plants in the planter that I built. I'll post pictures up right here.
Yeah, nice.
Look at that. Right now, I have
how's that going?
It's going pretty good. I have a lot of green onion planted. I have some cilantro, some garlic, and 3 tomato plants.
Wait, you have cilantro growing?
Yeah.
I thought you didn't like cilantro.
I like cilantro. I don't like parsley.
Oh, parsley. Okay. Sorry, I always get those two mixed up. They always look so similar for me.
Yeah, same. Other than that, there's something else that happened, but I forgot.
Anything with your dogs?
No, we're just chilling.
It's all good.
I can't really do much because they're renovating my restroom, so I have to be there to make sure everything's going fine.
I see. Okay.
Hung out with my friend Nicole.
Hey, nice.
Nicole, if you're listening, shout out to you. And then that's pretty much it. That was my week.
Well, it was still a productive week, even though you were homesick.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're much better, Joan.
Thank you. I'm glad I'm better too.
Yeah. So, any new trailers have you seen today, John, or throughout the week? Did you watch any new YouTube videos or what you do to like pass the time while you were sick?
I just mostly slept.
Yeah?
Honestly, I just slept a lot.
Okay, that's good. I mean, it helps. It helps.
As far as movies and stuff, I remember. I think I talked about this in an earlier podcast, but
yeah.
I like rewatched the new Freddy movie that's supposed to come out sometime, and then like The Incredibles 2 trailer. Movie? Yeah, there's
like the Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Wait, they mean a wait what?
They're gonna make a remake or like the same thing that they did with it. They're gonna revamp it.
Well, yeah, I remember we talked about it before in other podcasts, but I mean, I thought they already did that in like 2012 or something.
They're making another one.
Another one?
Pretty sure. Another one.
They're just playing themselves. But no, I remember that the 2012 remake didn't do as good as they thought it was gonna do.
Yeah,
like Freddy looked weird and like he didn't look as scary as he was before. He looked kind of like Voldemort with like burnt scars.
Yeah, from what I remember from the trailer, they don't actually show Freddy yet. They just like build up to it.
Do they at least have his like theme song, like the 1-2 Freddy's coming for you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then they show like the claws, and then bam, the movie. That's when like you see the whole Freddy thing. Other trailers which we talked about was like the new Chucky movie.
Oh yeah.
They're revamping that, but the Incredibles 2 trailer dropped, and that pretty much like broke the internet.
Yeah, everybody was going crazy for that. I've even seen reviews, like IGN reviewed it. Or was it IGN? I forgot what it was.
I'm pretty sure it was IGN. They do a lot of reviews.
But it's like, how can you review a trailer in the sense of like...
I feel like they just give a lot of like guesses to what they're expecting the movie to be. Kind of like how the trailer makes someone feel. Are you excited for the movie?
Yeah.
I know. Oh, also another trailer that broke like the internet was Jurassic World.
Oh yeah, okay, I've seen that one, the Jurassic World too.
That one's crazy.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
It's pretty.
The only one I've seen was where he's raising the dinosaur from an egg.
Yeah.
And then that dinosaur, Jolyn.
I'm sorry.
I think Pac-Man died on your phone, Jolyn.
No.
No, I remember just seeing the one where he's raising from an egg, and then it cuts to like the whole dinosaur growing and he's about to eat him, but he's like, hey, you remember me? That type of stuff. That's the last trailer I saw. Was there another one after that?
I think it's the same one. It just continues on.
Oh, okay.
Because the trailer pretty much answers a lot of questions that people had, like, is Jurassic World gonna have this? Is it gonna have that? Like, what are we to expect?
Yeah.
And it's it follows the same story as, I think it's Jurassic Park 2, the one with the little kids and they're in the kitchen. You know that scene?
Which one? Oh, where the raptors are like trying to get after them and they're hiding behind like the
that's Jurassic Park 2, right?
I believe so. Yes. Yeah. Unless I mean, I always get the three mixed up. The first three, the Jurassic Park, Jurassic Park 2, and Jurassic Park 3. I always get them mixed up. Which movie is it where they're like in a waterfall? There's a whole scene with a waterfall.
I think that's the first one.
Is that the first one?
Yeah.
God, man, I always think that's the second one for some reason.
I'm
but either way,
yeah.
I saw those trailers. It looked crazy. It looked awesome.
Yeah, those broke the internet.
I mean, the whole new dinosaurs going on. It's just, it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, but what I was getting to is like Jurassic World is kind of following the same structure as like Jurassic Park 2 would.
Yeah. Oh, I see that. Yeah.
It just in a different sense. But other than that, like there's nothing else that I've seen. I mean, I've been listening to more music. Like I recently started listening to what's his name, Vince Staples.
Vince Staples? Who's that?
He's a rapper from Long Beach.
Oh really?
Yeah.
No way.
He raps the LBC like a lot.
Yo, nice. I actually haven't heard of him.
He's
is he good? His music is good?
Do you remember that Sprite commercial where they're in the fair?
No.
There was a Sprite commercial where like Vince Staples was in the fair and he's like, come and win a Sprite, and the guy's like, yo, you're Vince Staples, but then before he finishes he like throws the ball and they're like, you win. He gives him a Sprite.
I do not remember that commercial.
Vince Staples, he's I want to say he's more like a trap artist. Like his songs kind of follow like what trap music is. But
it's good.
Yeah, like they kind of carry like a story like how traditional rap would.
Yeah.
And then like on the total opposite spectrum of like trap and stuff, I started listening to like Emma Blackery's music, because I think like a couple weeks ago I started following I started following her videos on YouTube.
Yeah,
because she's like she's a British vlogger.
Yeah, I've seen her videos.
Yeah, and she like started, not started, but she also has a music career.
Mm-hmm.
And I started listening to some of her songs, and they're
I think you're the one that recommended me Emma Black.
Yeah,
that's why I first started seeing her vlogs, and then you told me that she was a singer, and I was like, oh shit, no way.
Yeah. So Blackery, she kind of fills that void of like a female rock late 2000s person. Mm-hmm. Late 2000s female rocker. She kind of fills that void that we didn't really get, because we had like Paramore and some other people, but that was it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like she has that same feel as like Paramore does, and like early I forgot her name, Avril Lavigne. Yeah, like really early stuff like that.
That's true. I mean, I didn't really hear much Avril Lavigne, but I understand what you're saying. I need to check out that rapper though, Vince.
Oh, Vince Staples.
Yeah, the last Sprite commercial, like I remember, was the one with what's his name? Lil Yachty.
Is it Lil Yachty? Oh yeah, it was
the one that was like cold like a Sprite soda.
Yeah.
Like, the only reason why I remember that is because it was in movie theaters as well. It wasn't just like TV and YouTube. Other than that, I don't remember seeing Sprite commercials.
A lot of rappers have Sprite commercials.
Oh, not just rappers, fucking like basketball players. Everybody gets a Sprite commercial. I mean, it started
with Kobe.
It's kind of like with the Nike sports, you know. What is it? Nike.
Because I think right now Vince Staples is the one who has the Nike. No, there's a new person. It's probably like LeBron James.
The sponsorship of Nike?
No, it's Sprite.
Oh, I don't know.
I know LeBron James
they're sponsoring
has like
everybody. They're like, oh, you get Sprite, Sprite, everybody gets Sprite.
And then Vince Staples had a Sprite commercial. Lil Yachty had a Sprite commercial. Chance the Rapper.
Yo, which one was Chance the Rapper Sprite commercial? I don't remember.
He had like a whole jingle that he would play.
Was it?
Yeah, Chance had I'm pretty sure he had a Sprite commercial.
Whose Sprite commercial was it? Where the guy goes into the convenience store, and then he has to choose between the two cans in the fridge, and then the Grandmaster Flash is all the way in as the register. You remember that commercial? You don't remember that commercial? Like, no. Grandmaster Flash was the owner of the store, the convenience store, and he's the one that tells the kid, like, choose a can already, because he was taking forever, like, pick the can.
Oh wait, I don't think Chance had a Sprite commercial. He had a Kit Kat commercial.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that's why I was like, what?
I don't remember. I know what you're talking about.
Ah, man, because I don't even remember the song that the guy would hear when he would touch the can. But yeah, no, Sprite just sponsoring everybody.
Anyway, I think we should move on. We're talking about Sprite commercials.
Definitely.
You know, if like the last thing I'll say about that, if
do you think Sprite could sponsor us?
Yeah, Sprite, if you want to sponsor us, that'd be great.
We love Sprite. I always go.
The last
Sprite
thing I'll say about that is like, I would love to see Logic in the Sprite commercial.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know. I don't think Logic would ever be in a Sprite commercial.
Why? What, did that give off that vibe that he wouldn't be sell out like that?
Yeah.
I mean, would it be selling out if you go to a Sprite?
Nah.
I mean, everybody loves Sprite. I mean,
yeah, everyone does like Sprite.
I mean,
comment down below if you like Sprite.
Yeah, let us know. I mean, I always like putting up like some fruit with Sprite. You know what I mean? It's not healthier, but I mean, it gives it a different flavor.
Yeah, fair
so it's
enough.
good. But anyways, so let's get into how we met, Joel, and how our past. Let's go into that topic.
For sure.
You know, like give the people a few sense of like how long it's been since we've known each other, and you know, how it's been along the way.
So we're 17 episodes in, and we never really gave a backstory to how this happened.
I honestly thought we did. I
feel like we touched on it, but we probably just like skipped over it a little.
Yeah.
But we knew each other, and we like talked every so often in middle school.
Yeah. Like
around 7th or 8th grade.
It was more like we talked to each other because we had to, kind of. Like, it was like with the group talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We would hang out with the same people, and we would just talk to each other because we were there. And we knew we were cool people, but like we never actually sat down and had conversations. Yeah,
because I remember you guys, you're like, when I say you guys, your group.
Mm-hmm. It was like Edward,
because we had Mr. Las Marias for history in 7th grade, and you guys were like always up to shenanigans. And then I forgot what I was.
Because it was funny.
I sat with a bunch of girls. I remember.
Yeah, no, I remember the whole table was like 4 girls, and then there was only one other guy. I think it was like Ivan or something that was right next to you, and you guys were the only 2 guys in the table.
Yeah. I always sat with a bunch of girls.
Yeah.
Because I just felt more comfortable with girls.
I honestly thought you had like a bunch of like girls on your sack.
No, I always had no girls on my sack.
Like every time I would see you, especially since like you would be the one making them laugh, I'd be like, "Yo, look at him. He's got some game. Like Jesus, what does he do?"
No.
Like I'm over here trying to barely like get with one girl, and you got like 4 over there making them laugh. But yeah, I didn't know that. I was just like, you're just friends with them.
So Victor would soon learn in high school that I can talk to girls and I can make them laugh and we can be friends, but I have no skills.
You can never take that next step
whatsoever getting a girlfriend. I'm like horrible at it.
Yeah, I mean, it was just I don't know. It was weird. It's weird to explain because it's like girls love you. Every time I talked to a girl that talked to you, they would always be like, "Yeah, he's such a great guy. He has a great personality. I learned so much from him." And I'm like, "All right, cool. So are you dating him?" And they're like, "No, I see him like a brother." I'm just like, that's fucked up, man. Why you gotta be like that to Jolie, man? Because it's like they talk so good about you, and at the end they're just like, "No, I don't want to date you." So
but yeah, anyways, we're skipping ahead. So Victor and I, we met and we kind of talked to each other in 7th grade.
Yeah.
But then I think in 8th grade, when I actually started hanging out with like Edward and Ishmael and Raul and like the people who play basketball.
Oh yeah,
that's when we really started talking.
I remember that. Oh my god, basketball every nutrition. I remember that.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't play with you guys during nutrition. I'd play with you during lunch.
Yeah. No, every lunch and nutrition.
Because I was in leadership in 8th grade and I always had to do leadership stuff.
Mm-hmm. I remember you. Scott. I remember talking to Scott, and then that's how I met you because you guys were both in leadership.
Yeah, I miss Scott. Scott was cool.
Did you see Mr. Ramirez posted up a picture of like in the past of us?
Yeah, I wasn't in any of them.
I know, it was just it was weird. It was that the pictures.
You were in it, but I wasn't.
Fuck. It was just.
You look exactly the same.
Do I?
Yeah.
I thought I looked. I don't know. I thought I looked like.
I kind of wanted to be.
Younger right there.
I wanted to see myself in there because like I remember I had like had way more than peach fuzz in middle school. Like I was actually starting to grow a beard.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I can't imagine you without a beard. Because even in middle school, you were already growing it. Like
and I wanted to see like how far my beard has come.
Yeah.
Because right now I think it's pretty good. Like my mustache could be a little thicker.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, like everything connects. Everything looks fine.
You just gotta like, if you let it grow, it will look great. You know what I mean? Like if you let it grow incredibly long, that type of stuff.
Yeah. But we didn't really like talk until 9th grade because we both went to the same high school and we had to like ride the bus together.
Well, it was 8th grade that we had science class together with Mr. Nunez.
Oh yeah.
That's when we started talking.
That was a fun class.
But we didn't get into like deep conversations. It was more of just like we sat next to each other, so we were just like chilling, hanging out, talking, that type of stuff. And in 9th grade, that's when we were actually like actual talking to each other on the bus, and like whenever we would see each other, we would like sit next to each other and be like, "What's up, man? How you doing?"
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, so high school we like really kicked it off because there were like 20 people from our high school who were from our middle school, so we all kind of like stayed together as a little clique.
Yeah, we did. We had like a little table designated for ourselves, and
that was great.
It was awesome.
But yeah, and then like we just started talking, getting a lot closer.
Yep.
And then
in high school, that's
like
when
10th grade. That's when like you, me, Edward, and Rocio like really became friends.
That's when we really designated the close pack of us, like our friends, because it was just like the 4 of us, and that's all it was. It was just Rocio, Edward, and you and me.
Yeah.
And even though like Rocio never really hung out with us. Like she was always doing her own thing, like going off to like read a book in like a class.
But she would always ride the bus with us.
Exactly, she would always be with us during lunch and nutrition. Oh no, not lunch and nutrition.
No, she would only be with us after school.
Yep. But it was still great. Like I mean, we were still really close, and we just got closer after that. And like, cause compared to other like people that were from our middle school that went to the same high school, they just like found their own friends and then left us, and they just
I think what
kept
really
going.
helped like us stay together is the fact that you already had like your license and car and stuff by the time you graduated, and I was going to school in Irvine, and I could just like call you guys up and be like, hey, can you give me a ride home?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and then like our ride home, oh my god. So if anyone here in SoCal has ever gone on the 405, like coming from San Diego, when you reach that Irvine area trying to go into LA, it's horrible. There's always traffic, and it's not like it's like bumper to bumper. It's like you're staying in the same spot for 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's true. And it's a big freeway. It has like 6 lanes. For some reason, it's incredibly slow. It's just a lot of cars, and it's ridiculous.
Exactly.
And
and then that's pretty much it. Like, and then for a little while, we were all working at the shop.
Yeah, we were
at the same time, and we've always just stayed in touch. But this whole like YouTube channel, we had this idea since like 10th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Like we wanted to start up a channel just doing like dumb things and like random stuff.
But we never really like started doing anything because we were just focused on like at the time it was with school and just like we never really had enough time together after class. Yeah, we could do the YouTube
that
channel.
too. Like I was always taking APs and like after like 10th grade and on.
Yeah.
People always considered me to hang out with like the smart kids, or like they would group me into that group, like, oh, you guys are like the smart kids, like you're all the fucking nerds, like taking the APs and stuff. But it's just like I took the classes because I wanted to take them, and then like I think the only class we ever had together in high school was like PE, like physical education.
Yeah, that was fun.
Like we never had math, science, English, any of those classes together.
You and Edward did. You guys used to have like some AP classes together.
No, we never had a class together.
And you and Edward?
We only had PE.
Nah, you and Edward.
We had math together.
Yeah, there you go.
We had math with Miss Chung.
Yeah, that's why I remember. What was it? Having math, and you guys were like, oh, because we had the same class, even Miss Chung, but you guys were like second period and I was like fourth period.
Oh, yeah.
And then you guys kept making fun of me, like, why didn't you go to second period, man?
I know.
That's just like, I can't decide that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember PE. That was fun. Just having all of us right there having a good time.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
What was I going to say about that? It was funny how in high school, we all had our secondary friends. You know what I mean? Like, we all had, like, a group of people we liked to hang out when we weren't hanging out with each other.
Yeah.
You know, like, Rocio...
I always found that interesting.
Rocio always had some, like, girls that she was always talking to, like hanging out with, like...
Which is weird, because Rocio always says, like, she hates hanging out with girls.
Yeah. But, I mean, I guess it was just more of, like, she had no one else to hang out with, so she would just hang out with girls even though she didn't like it. Edward, of course, always hung out with, like, the popular kids. You know what I mean? Like, well, it's not that he did, but all the popular kids expected him to hang out with them.
Yeah.
And even like even now that they talk to Edward, they're like, yo, why didn't we hang out in high school? And Edward tells them the same reason. Like, I was never one to go from people to people. It was always like, once I had friends, I would go hang out with them. You know what I mean? So he was like a loyal person. You had like just... So you had girls that you were talking to and people that I didn't even know about, that they were just like super good in like was it chemistry and bio, and
that was you
were a very science oriented guy even in your group of friends.
That's true.
Or at least I saw you that way.
I mean, when I look back at the quote unquote secondary group of friends that I had in high school, they were just like random kids. Like I always hung out with like Kevin and Elvis.
Yeah. Oh man, I love those guys.
Yeah.
They're hilarious.
And then we all hung out with Ashim.
Yeah. Well, Ashim wasn't really. Well, yeah, he was like, he was one of those really close, quote unquote secondary friends. You know, like like he was there every day, and he was such a cool guy. You just love hanging out with him.
No, I think my thing was like, I just hated doing homework, but I knew I had to do it. So, like, nutrition and lunches, I'll just hang out in the teacher's room and I'll do my homework.
Yeah, okay.
For, like, the next period.
It sounds so wrong when I'm thinking about it right now, and right now that I'm going to say it, it sounds really wrong, but it's not the way it was. I always hung out with underclassmen. Or at least, like...
No, yeah, I know what you mean.
Not underclassmen, not only underclassmen, but also, like, upperclassmen. Like, I always hung out with people that weren't in my grade.
Yeah, well, it sounds wrong now.
Yeah.
Because it's like your mind goes to that extreme of, oh, like a senior hanging out with a freshman.
Exactly, yeah.
But like in your case, they were just like a year younger than us.
They were, yeah. Like I was a junior, they were sophomores, and you know, like Vanessa and Andrea, all them. Like I would hang out with their group. I would hang out with some like upperclassmen in the senior picnic area when I was like barely a sophomore. That's how I got my girlfriend. I was a senior when I was barely like a sophomore or junior. But I never hung. I don't know why. I just never hung out with like people in my own group, because I guess it was more like, because they were in my class, I already knew who they were, so I didn't really like mind. Like if they talk to me, I'll talk to them. But I guess what kept me going to other groups was the fact that I wanted to learn more about them. You know, just explore what type of person they were. So I always like just hung out with them, and
see, it's funny though.
I would go back to you guys.
It's funny though, because like like how you said that I would always hang out with a bunch of girls. Like I can't remember any of them.
Really?
Like none of them come to mind when you're like, oh, what girl did you hang out with? Like, cause I know, like I hung out with Jenny a lot,
Well,
but that was mostly like in class.
Yeah, but I mean, like you would always be like, because every time we would talk, you'd always tell me, oh yeah, I was talking to this one girl, and I'll be like, I don't know who she is. And you would always bring up names of girls that I've never even talked to. Like if anything, at most, I knew they existed, but I never had a conversation with them. And they were like, yeah she's like, really cool.
I know, like, Dulce and I talked a lot in our senior year.
Wendy used to talk to Wendy, too.
Wait, which Wendy?
Wendy, the one that was with Alan Palapa at the time.
I don't remember talking to Wendy.
You don't remember talking to her?
Like, I knew Wendy because we were in the same elementary class.
Oh, okay, there you go. I thought you
Wendy
talked
and I
to her.
never really talked. We started talking in college because she used to live with Kathy. Mm-hmm. She lived with Kathy and Savannah and Emily.
See? Look at all those names.
Yeah. Well, they all went to our high school, too.
Yeah.
Well, there was Kathy. Oh, and so, like, I started watching Gossip Girl my senior year of high school because of Alex.
Yeah, you told me about
that. But
that.
then I found out Dulce was watching Gossip Girl too, so then that's how we became friends. Because I just randomly was like, yeah, I watch Gossip Girl.
It's a good show.
It is a good show.
You even got Edward to watch Gossip Girl. I remember you and him were talking about it. He was like, yeah, I'm in season this and that.
The thing, like, Edward, like, mine and Edward's relationship, a lot of the things that we do is like in spite of each other.
What do you mean?
Not like because we hate each other, but because we want to like one up each other.
Oh, like in a good way, like friendly competition.
Yeah, like a friendly competition.
Yeah.
So like if I tell Edward like, oh hey, you should like there's this new anime like My Hero Academia.
Oh yeah.
Like, you should like watch it and stuff. Like he'll say like he hasn't seen it or he doesn't want to watch it just to spite me. But then he'll go and watch it and he'll be like, oh shoot, that's like actually really good.
Oh yeah. And then
so that was the case with Gossip Girl.
And then he comes back and he's like, yeah man, see, I told you should have watched it. And then you're like, what? I told you. Yeah.
That's how our relationship is.
That's
like
funny.
A lot of things that we do is like to like spite each other.
Yeah.
That's why I want to get like another car that's around the same era as Edward's.
Yeah.
But not a Maverick, so that way I can like fix it up and beat him.
Hey.
Or like just get another JDM and be like, see Edward, I told you JDM was better.
I was gonna say that. Just get like
JDM was better than American.
Just get an import car, man, and just show him.
Right. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, like I remember talking to these people in high school, but then when I try to think back to like what did we talk about or like what sparked it all, like I'm just drawing a blank.
Really?
Yeah, like I don't. The only person that I can like really remember is like Jenny and Mary.
Well, yeah, but Jenny, like
Jenny's always been my friend.
Wait, you were friends. Well, you knew Jenny since elementary, right? Didn't you guys have like the same elementary school class?
No.
Or how? I know
we met in 9th grade year.
Did you really?
Because we had Spanish together. Oh no, we had English together.
Yeah, and then you introduced her when we were like hanging out on the bridge that crossed the school. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. And then that's how our group of friends became friends with her group of friends, and then that's how the whole thing. Well, I'll blur out her name. That's the whole thing that happened.
Yeah, that's dark times. But it's crazy. We knew a lot of people in high school, but they were never close friends. They were just like chill people we talked to. Wow, my God, has it really been that long? We're old, Jolene. We're some old fucks. Jesus. But oh my God, there's good times though, because I remember, just having always someone to talk to every day.
Yeah, I wanted to. Like, I don't know if this is going to sound, like, pompous or anything, but, like, I was going to say, like, what's your best memory of me? And then I'll say my best memory of you.
Okay, that sounds good. Oh, that's hard, though.
I know. Like, I could think of one. Like, really good one.
The best memory I remember having that we just, like, it was such a good time was when I had my Beats headphones. Remember the Beats, the one that you could like plug into your headphones and we could just hear the same thing. And we were watching funny videos, and we were both sitting right next to each other, laughing our asses off, and everybody on the bus were like, they would laugh along with us because we would make them laugh. Like true. Our laughs were contagious.
What I would never forget is how I had that like premonition dream of when
my girlfriend.
You broke up with your girlfriend.
That was really weird.
And the next day at school, I was like, "Oh, dude, are you okay? Like, like, how are you taking the breakup? And you're like, the fuck are you talking about?
Dude, it was scary, man. It really was, because it happened the day before. And it was like we were still talking to each other, because it was still like the fallout process.
Yeah.
Where like we were still trying to work things out, but we were officially broken up. And it was still too early to tell everybody, oh, I don't have a girlfriend anymore, because we're still trying to work it out.
Yeah.
And you just come up to me like I'm fucking in my locker getting all my shit to leave the home, and you're just like, hey man, you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to pretend like I'm okay. And it's like, yeah, I'm fine, what's up? And it's like, I don't know, man, the breakup, like, you okay? Like, you didn't take it too hard? I'm like, who the fuck told you?
Oh man, crazy stuff.
Like, I remember not telling anyone, and you just already knew the whole details.
Yeah, that was...
You fucking mind reader, like, future seer person. Jeez.
Man.
Psychic.
Like, when I look back at high school, I don't know why, but a lot of the things that I did in high school was just, like the same thing with Edward. A lot of things that I did in high school was just to spite other people or other things.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, you were just always competing with someone?
Like, with someone, or, like, trying to... like, not necessarily break the rules, but trying to, like, bend them a little bit.
See how far you could go?
Yeah.
Yeah,
because I remember one day I spent, like, half the day without shoes.
What?
Yeah, I just, like, took off, because I had 2 sets of shoes, one for PE and one for the shoes that I wore.
Yeah.
And then I had PE first period, so after first period I put my shoes in, and I was like, because you know how there were the deans, they would, like, walk around and, like, oh, you're not in uniform, or like you're breaking dress protocol.
Code, yeah, the dress
like,
code.
I was like, how long can I go before the dean actually notices that I'm not wearing shoes? And I would walk past them, like, every period, and he would not notice, because I had, like, blue socks.
Yeah.
And then
when did he notice? When did he actually notice?
He didn't notice? I noticed that my socks were just extremely dirty, and I was like, let me put on my shoes.
Yeah. That's hilarious. You could have gone all day without wearing shoes. Speaking of the dean, the one thing I would never, ever forget from high school is how the dean just came up to me out of nowhere and he hugged me. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
He just hugged me, and I was like, what's going on? He's like, I don't know, man. You just look so sad. You look like a guy that really needed a hug. He was like, cheer up, okay? Everything's gonna be fine.
Oh, that was hilarious.
And I was lost in thought at the moment, so it really caught me off guard. I was just like, oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
That's hilarious.
Fucking hilarious, man. That guy was cool. The dean was cool.
Yeah, that's be crazy, dude. I didn't do a lot of crazy things, but I did weird things in high school.
Like what?
Like, I remember for science fair, I bought, like, a whole organic chemistry distillation kit, and I put it in Dr. Vender's class, and he was actually like kind of happy that one of his students was taking chemistry kind of serious. And then people would just look at me and they'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? And then it was like, for the simplest thing in the world, I was like, oh, I'm just, like, distilling oils to see if they carry.
Didn't you want to make, like, an oil scented lavender scented oils? That you, like, for, was like perfumes or just like rubbing oil, that type of stuff? Yeah.
I made it.
That was awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah, Dr. Vender's and I were cool because of that. And that was just to see if I could. And it was pretty fun.
I mean, high school was a time where I would never want to redo it. Like, it's a nightmarish time for me. Like, I don't ever want to be back in there, but I don't regret it. Like, I love everything that went down in high school. Even the bad times, I mean, they made me who I am today, and I love whatever happened. I had fun. Like, I had bad times.
If I could redo high school, I probably would.
Yeah?
Yeah, but, like, with the knowledge that I know now,
yeah,
like, I would freaking own the school.
Well, I mean, of course. I mean, Jesus, you're fucking putting, like, an adult brain into, like, a hormonic teenage body, you know? Of course you would know exactly what to do and how to react to situations.
Though that's a lot. I mean, like, obviously, there's a lot that's changed since high school.
Yeah.
I just care less now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's because that's like the way I describe it to a lot of people. Like, be like, in high school, that's your whole life. You have no other, like, activity outside of high school, or at least, like, if you do, it just engulfs you so deeply that no other world problem matters as much as your problems matter, in your mind.
Yep.
Like you don't give a shit about the world, you don't give a shit about like your lifestyle, you don't give a shit about the government, because all that's going through your mind is homework, getting good grades, and then doing whatever extracurricular activities that you might be doing at the time, you know what I mean?
Or if you're like me, you're like obsessing over things that don't even exist, like trying to get a girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly.
Girl that's not even interested.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, like, or friendships and relationships that like they won't even last in the end, because it's just high school. And that's why it's so bad, because drama happens or overthinking happens, and it's just only until you get out of high school and you're able to see the world for what it is, and you realize like all the different problems, are you able to like analyze that, hey, all the problems I had in high school were just meaningless, it never really mattered. But I guess that's why it was so hard to go through high school, because it was all those problems were your world, and you were going through some hormonal stuff that just made everything worse.
Yeah, so, honestly, like high school is like the most stressful part of your life so far, because there's so much that like weighs on you, and then you're in a stage where you care too much or you care too little.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. It kind of sucks. Like I wish the U.S. kind of did what other countries do, where like after you graduate, like you're kind of like some people expect you to take like a gap year. Mm-hmm. Like you just kind of either get a job or you don't do anything for a year after high school and then you go to college. Mm-hmm. Like that's actually a thing in other countries, whereas like the U.S., like right after high school,
just to get a feel for life
to go to
itself.
College. Yeah.
No, in the U.S., it's such a huge, there's this huge meta of like, if you don't get into college right after high school, you're like a loser. Yeah. Like it's so wrong in so many ways. I remember so many friends freaking out and like pretty much like killing themselves every single day to try to get into a good college, and in the end they were like, in the end it didn't really matter. I mean, they got into the college and it was all, and I remember you got into Irvine, so you got into a good college, but no, I mean like other times like
fucking car. I would take a break.
All right, so we're back.
The whole system just kind of sucks because there's so much that weighs on teenagers in a sensitive part of their life.
It doesn't help, like especially senior year. You're worried about not walking the stage of like graduating or graduating in general, like getting your diploma, and then on top of that you have to worry about getting into a college, and then it's like most of the time you're not even doing it for yourself. You're just doing it because so many people are doing it, or you're doing it because it's quote unquote the right thing to do. So it's like, in my mind, my perspective was, don't force yourself to do something that you don't want to do. Like, make sure you're going to the college because you want to go.
If there's any advice that you want to give to our audience who are high schoolers, which there's like not that many to almost none, because demographics are, we looked it up. Most of the people who check out our channel, they're around the ages of like 18 to 24.
Oh, okay.
So they're like in the college-ish.
Yeah, they're already out of high school and stuff.
So any like high school students listening, you want to give them any advice?
I mean, the only advice I can give would just be, don't take anything too seriously, but also don't like just not care about anything. Yeah. Just it's a hard balance, but it's like, just live the life you want to live. Like, don't stress about the small stuff too much, but don't ignore them. The life is about the small stuff, but don't sweat the small stuff. Enjoy it, the fact that they're there. And if you get into that college you wanted to go, then congratulations. If you don't, that doesn't mean that the window is closed forever. Exactly. Take the time to better yourself. Take the time to maybe go to community college. It'll be cheaper for you. And then in a year or two you'll be able to transfer and probably be a better person than you are now. But just don't look at it as a bad thing. As long as you're moving forward, that's the whole point. Like, don't stop. Like, even if it's not the route you expected to take, as long as you keep moving forward, you'll reach the goals you were planning. And just don't punish yourself too much if you fail, because failing is the way you learn in life. So that would be the best advice I can give from my perspective.
Fair enough. Similar, like going on what you said. Like, if I had to give a high schooler advice right now, mine would be just realize that the things that you're going through now are not permanent.
Yeah, definitely.
Like almost everything in life is temporary. Like, you're not gonna live in that house forever. You're not gonna see these people every single day for the rest of your life. You'll only take this class once if you're lucky. In my case, I freaking took calculus 3 times. Calculus is permanent. But yeah, like, realize that these things are temporary. So the problems that you have, they're just though they might seem like these problems weigh heavily on you, and they might seem like there's no end into them, it's temporary.
Yeah, like persevere and you'll push through it.
Just once you like realize that, and you get a grasp that these things are only in the moment. Like, they're important and they're only in the moment.
Yeah.
It's such a liberating feeling.
True.
Because, yeah,
like
I realized
you're
in college,
you're able to not only focus on the importance of what's going on right now, but it also frees your mind up for future possibilities.
It also helps you categorize what is important and what you should focus on.
Yeah, true.
When you realize things are only momentary.
Like, in the long run and stuff, you're able to see what's gonna last and what you should really want to do. I stopped caring about getting a haircut. Now I just cut my own hair. Do you really? Every time? No way, nice. I always thought you always go to a barbershop.
Like, this is the second time I cut my hair by myself.
I would cut my hair myself, but I really like the style of, like, what is it, 1920s or 1930s? I forgot what it's called. Peaky Blinders, you know that show?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Around that area after World War One, like where it's like long on top and really short on the sides. I love that style, and I can't do that myself. I can't. I haven't figured out my dimensions yet, so.
Oh, for sure.
So
I kind of just like get the biggest size and go all around.
Yeah, that
and
would
then
be
just
helpful.
slightly decrease it as I go down the sides.
I see.
And the back.
Yeah, that would be not bad. I still gotta figure it out. I'll try it on myself. That would save me a lot of money.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, that's.
I mean, well,
that's pretty much like how we met in our high school experience. And a little bit of our life.
I mean, we went from, simple everyday topics, recent topics that like appeared in trends right now to like the past and pretty deep stuff, Jonan. But it's a pretty good episode. Hopefully everyone out there enjoys it as much as we enjoyed talking about it. Maybe you guys came up with something,
definitely, like, comment your opinions down below. Like, if whatever we said struck a chord with you, definitely let us know.
Yeah, definitely.
Give us your ideas, your opinions. We're open to suggestions. We're open to critique. If there's somebody listening who like wants to start a YouTube channel but doesn't really know like the steps, we're not experts in this, but we definitely like took whatever we had and tried to make it work.
Yeah.
We're like, nothing is impossible.
We're just like you guys. We're just two guys trying to live life, learning along the way with the mistakes that we do. So, any advice that we do, it's just the best we can give at the moment. But, if you guys need help, we'll gladly help you guys out any way we can. Let us know in the comments below. And give us your advice as well. Help us out. Like, we love to learn as well as we're going along. But yeah, drop us a like if you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more future videos. And thank you guys for joining us. Remember to stay beautiful.